What's happening? This is Ryan Dawkins, and you're tuning in to The LOFT.
Have brought out the best of me.
All right. What a season.
What a season.
What a big year, huh? We had a fun year.
Go Birds.
So you're always a Pats fan, right?
Yeah, so I grew up in Boston, but I've been living in Philly for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's like I was 19 when I first moved here.
Yeah.
And, you know, just growing up, going to the bars, going out, and then just embracing being an Eagles fan.
Yeah, and I mean, you had one of the best seasons in the past 20 years for any Super Bowl team, let alone team. So you definitely got to experience the best it has to offer. And then obviously what we were talking about too is like the Super Bowl, or the Eagles season, like you would do like the watch parties, and then I'll come in after, and like it's been like a whole crazy Sunday fun day, shit show, man. It was
from start to finish.
Yeah, man.
And it honestly, I feel like when we did that big jump was after the Cowboys game, when we clinched the playoffs, because then right afterwards we have like Landon Dickerson and Cooper Dejean. They all just came in right afterwards in the little sidebar, like not the sidebar, the little side VIP table. Yeah, they started coming in. And it was just nuts. And then right from there, it was just that was the spot every single Sunday. Yeah, like we together, and then the whole team. Over at Barstool, I feel like we put together the best party. Yeah. And Sunday in Philadelphia.
It was a vibe. It was a good time, bro. It was. I'm curious to see how many people actually called out of work now. Yeah. But nah, dude, it was a great season. Like even just to watch, like even as like a football fan too, like just how well the team did, and just like in the vibes too as well from the players, and like you said, like them coming in after the game and all that. And yeah, that stuff was crazy. I remember when Kat first told me like, yo, by the way, some of the players are coming in. I'm like, all right, yeah, right. And then it was like Landon, Sydney, it was like John Dotson, then Coop and his family. And I was like, shit. I was like, all right, cool. So it was like, we would go, I remember I would ask you, we would go up to the players and be like, yo, like, what do you want to hear? And they're like, Lil Wayne or whatever.
Yeah,
so we'll stay on like whatever they want to hear.
Yeah, and the cool thing about playing over at Barstool too is like they know what they're like getting into when they go there. So it's not just all like hip hop or house or whatever, but it has its own sound. Yeah. And you can jump around and then they have a good time. Yeah. And then they have their own space to, be people. Not having people having phones in the face, or having the security did a great job of just roping that part off so they can just have fun. Yeah. They're coming off of a huge win, and especially, with the parade. We had Saquon, we had Mayada, we had basically the whole offensive line just right there. And they could have been anywhere in the world that night. Those are the most popular people in Philadelphia, and they decided we're going out to Barstool. Yeah, it was crazy. And that's for a reason, because of just all the hard work that you and I and the team have done to create that vibe. And
it was a fun year, bro. It was cool. It was definitely cool. I remember, when we got cleared everything off, got everybody out, and then let the team come in. I remember there was the one table that was left open, and then so we're all just kind of hanging out, chilling, and I see Saquon all of a sudden. He kind of just popped in. I didn't even see him walk in. So I see him in the section next to me. I was like, yo, Emily, I was like, I want to buy a bottle right there. Yeah. I was like, let me in that section right now. She was like, okay, cool. So I went and bought bought Tito's, and I bought a champagne bottle for my buddy Jordan Spector that makes all the cards and stuff. Yep. He got engaged that day at Assembly Rooftop as the parade was going by, and he told me that was his plan for his fiance, and he did it. And then he came to Barstool, and I got him like a champagne bottle that said "just engaged."
Yeah. And I saw that.
Caught him off guard, and I was like,
"That's crazy."
It was a pretty cool moment, because just like I said, just having like all of our friends and people there, and just having like the players just enjoying themselves, having a good time. That was like peak Eagles fan. Yeah. Which is crazy. Just like you got to experience it. Like obviously you've been here for 10 years, but like. Now, just like being an Eagles fan now, you're into the culture now, and it was just like crazy. It was such a crazy time as like a Philadelphia Eagles fan to like one, be a part of that whole team and season, but two, to specifically at Barstool too, like with like having obviously everyone doing a great job, all the workers, and I mean everyone that crushed it. It was awesome. It was such a fun experience and fun thing to be a part of. But it was just so cool. I don't even think I really took it in yet, and that's why like these past 2 weeks I just been like kind of chilling, relaxing, and that's why I'm happy like we're bringing the pod back now. Is like because I just was like kind of trying to take it all in, you know, because you're just like constantly, obviously, go.
Yeah, I mean, we've been nonstop from like, because, you know, Thursday, Friday night, Saturday night, and then we have to be at Barstool. I mean, for doing the games, and then when you were doing the stuff at the tailgates and the tradesmen's, we had to be up at 8 in. Yeah, coming home 5 in, getting 3 hours of sleep, maybe going to bed. Yeah. And then just keep it going, and then we're there till fucking 4 in. Yeah, the next day. I remember at the championship game. Yeah, the championship game. We got there at 10 a.m. and we left at 5. Yeah. And on the Wanamaker thing, it just tells you how long you've been there. It's at 17 and a half hours. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God.
Long days, man. I remember when I would come in after like a 1 o'clock Eagles game and I would do like a 9-hour Barstool shift.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. The marathon set. And that's why I was coming in and checking in on you and making sure everything was good.
Dude, I got to give you so much love for that, bro. Because you always come up, you'll get me like a water or whatever, check in on me. Just like, because like, obviously it's like, you're saying still playing music, but still it's like 9 hours, and like all the people that will come up and like try to hang out and like or just like say what's up, and it's like it's a lot of energy. It's a big energy exchange, especially when after doing like a tradesman's watch party or stateside, whatever. It was just a huge energy exchange. But I do your real shit for that, so I appreciate that, because I was nuts, bro.
Yeah, it's a team. I mean, you got 1 second, you got a player in the booth with you, and then the next you got Bran Flakes freaking do with the bubble gun all over the place, and then you got a bunch of people around. So I just want to make sure that, you know, you're comfortable, you can do your thing, and obviously, you know, like the servers, the girls, they're busting their ass, they got a million tables and all that stuff. So you know, just making sure that you're comfortable and just you know, doing your thing. And on top of that, so this is a gift for me to you for having me on the podcast and for converting me into an Eagles fan.
I appreciate it. Is it something Patriots maybe? What have we got here? Oh man, wait, that's sick. Wait, what? Yep. My first pop. What is that called? Pop?
Funko Pop.
Funko Pop. Wait. Yeah, that's a Jalen Hurts Funko Pop. Wait, bro, thank you so much, dude.
Yeah, man.
Wait, this is sick. It has to go up in this.
Yeah.
This is sick. Wait, it's my first one, Jalen Hurts. Wait, this is sick. I appreciate you.
Go
bro.
Birds.
Go Birds. Yeah, we'll leave it. I'll leave it right here now for the pod. But holy shit, dude, thank you, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
between you, Malik, and this whole team, it's just the whole. Embracing what it is to be an Eagles fan, because it's, you know, like, I'm not going to be the person that comes out, oh, I've been an Eagles fan my whole life, I've been this and that. It's just one of those things where everyone just embracing the culture, and you guys have been open to me. Obviously, I get shit for being from Boston, a Pats fan and all of it, but you know, I'm open to it, and I just had so much fun doing the games this whole year, and I'm sure from, you know, over at Tradesman's running the games, but there's so much that goes into that. Yeah, it's like I don't even really get a chance. Obviously, we're paying attention to the game, but I don't even get a chance to really watch the game. Right. Like, I'll go home and watch the highlights when I get home, because it's that you have to be prepared for anything. Yeah. And what I've been doing, I'm sure you can like show like a picture of this on it, but my whole setup is I got this, like the 2 CDJs, the DJing 900 in the middle, and then game sound in channel 4, and then my laptop where I'm running Ableton on channel 1. And on Ableton on channel 1 I have the Gary Glitter rock and roll song, so it's the da 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 hey. Yeah. And I just played it one time last season, and I was getting a response out of it, so I was like, all right, let's try this again. And then it's kept working. So it kind of turned into a thing where every single time there's like a really, really cool play, like an interception, fumble, touchdown, I would just play it, because
it's smart.
I asked one of the fans, say, like, when do I do the Eagles the Eagles fight song? And it's always after they kick the extra point or that thing. But what about that time in between once they get the touchdown? And so then I started playing that during there, and then goes right into it, so it keeps just a good flow of going into it. But there's another thing of, if I only have 2 CDJs and I have the like the rock and roll on one side and the Eagles song on the right side, there's times when they're about to score a touchdown and it's a fumble. So then, or it's an interception, and now the whole shift, there's a big shift change, and I'm like, how do you? And I got this all set up, and I'm like, fuck. Yeah. So what I did was that on Ableton, I have it dedicated, so all I have to do is just on the MIDI board, press that button, that triggers this, press the fight song, that triggers that, and I always have 2 decks ready to go. Okay. And then people always say, like, oh, like, what do you do when there's an interception? Play music for the girls. Because the guys are pissed off, and if the girls are dancing, having fun, that's going to get them a little bit less pissed off. All right,
they got something to look at least. If it's not the TV, you know what I mean?
You know?
That's funny,
But there's just so much that goes involved in it, and then you got so many people around you, and you want to be able, but you still need to focus, because, and you need, let's say you need to go to the bathroom. and
yeah,
and then something happens, interception. Then you hear, and then I'm running down to the bathroom because the one to the right of me is blocked
you
off.
hear something crazy,
yeah, and then you hear like, oh my god, I'm like fucking washing my hands really quick, running upstairs and all that stuff. But there's just so much that goes into like the psychology, honestly, of just DJing the game, about how do I tap into that like the listener and the fan, because we want to simulate as close to a game experience as we can without actually being there.
For sure.
So if you can try to jump in and get people still going and high energy, but also the times when there's something that sucks. What do you play? How do you still keep them engaged? And then you don't want to be playing slow stuff, because then they're bringing out a bottle.
You want to bring it lower.
Yeah.
Where the energy of the bottles come out. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely people don't think about it, but obviously as like DJs, whatever you do, and because when I would go to the bathroom, I taught Chris how to like press a button.
Yeah.
and then I was like, yo, if something good happens, press this. If nothing happens, press this.
Yeah.
So I ended up showing him how to press it and like whatever. And then the last few games, Jason Weiss came in and he would DJ, and I just got the MC, which is great. Because we would do like our shocking competitions or whatever, and he would come in and like just like he would rip. And I told E-Rock, we had E-Rock for the Super Bowl as well.
Nice.
He's like a big Eagles influencer who reached out, and I was like, dude, absolutely. So he came in and played, and you got him out of retirement.
Yeah.
So it was cool to like have that and like have that like little less work to do, because like obviously dude, it's like it's a lot, like because you're just like you don't get to really enjoy the game as much or watch it, but like it was a great season, bro, and obviously it was cool, like when all my friends would come from tradesmen would come over to see you and hang out with you for a little bit, and then I would go on and we'll just like kind of just go and hang out. It was cool, just the whole season all around was like it was such a like being able to like kind of take it in and look at how, because we like watching the Eagles season every year, we always think it ends with some sort of disappointment, right?
Yeah.
Like either like it's the first round against Tampa Bay or the second round or whatever, or we don't make it, right? It was so cool to know that like we had the best team in the league, and like leading up to the Super Bowl, bro, like I put $100 on Eagles minus 9.5, Eagles to win by 9.5 or more. Yeah. And I woke up and like I had that energy. I was like, dude, like I'm doing it. I don't care. Like I wanted to put more. I know a few people who put like 500 on. Nick Spinelli put 500 on that and won like $2,500, whatever, 2,500. And so I was like, dude, I'm betting, because I knew the Eagles had something this season. I knew from watching, like they had the best team in the league, bro. And it was so fun to watch, and like even to see the parade, like just see like, because it was a lot different than 2017, because you were still watching 2017, right?
Yeah. I almost an Eagles fan almost beat me up because I wore a Celtics.
Oh my God! Wait, we played Boston. we played the Pats.
Yeah, we played the Boston Patriots.
Wait, what were you doing at that time? Where did you watch the game at that time?
I was a sophomore at St. Joe's, and I was sitting in my I was in my dorm room, and then my roommates were like all diehard Eagles fans, so. They lost, and then they sprinted right into the city when they won. And then the parade day, I wasn't gonna wear Pats gear. I'm not like stupid.
Yeah,
with
I couldn't support you after. I wouldn't be able to support anything that happens to you after that.
Yeah. So I wore a green flannel, and then I wore like a black and green Celtics hat. And then some Eagles fan over. It's like if you're facing the art museum to the right. And some guy just like literally just took out like a cigarette and tried to almost burn me with it.
Oh my God.
Take that hat off. Take that hat off.
It was the emotions. The emotions were definitely higher because it was our first one, and the way we won it without like with Nick Foles and not really having a chance.
And this was all new to me too. Just being in this, it was a year living in Philadelphia and seeing all this stuff. So I didn't realize, like, now I get it. When I'm like, you go around the city and like, go Birds, dickhead, and that's like a term of endearment. Exactly. Yeah.
Shout out Malik. Dude, it was an amazing season, and I was lucky to be a part of it, and I'm just happy that like we were able to like be able to like work the tandem that we had with the Barstool situation, which was really cool. And I'm just excited. I mean, right now I'm kind of going through a bit of a seasonal depression. That's why I'm excited to be back and doing the podcast again, and like kind of like getting myself kind of back in the flow of things. Obviously, like usually February's are for, taking it easy or chilling or whatever, because obviously everyone says nightlife's dead and all that stuff. It hasn't been the case recently because of the Eagles and stuff like that. And now it's like, okay, now we got ready for St. Patty's Day and the summer. And
March Madness.
So
it's going to be busy. I think that space, Barstool never ends. No. It never. We've been going nonstop since Halloween.
Yeah.
The only time it really slows down is the summer, because then people are traveling and doing stuff. And then, going off your point, we were having this conversation the other day about what happens when the Eagles season's over. Like, what do we do next? And that's where we kind of tap into our creativity of making music, just being like producing, traveling, getting out into different markets. Like, for example, this Friday, I'm going to go to Nebula in New York and see my buddy Morton play, and then going back to Boston Saturday for like a Defected Records, which is like a really cool UK house label thing Saturday. That's and just awesome. Just now I can go home and actually go out because I have anxiety on Sundays. So I'm thinking like, we need to be here. We need to be doing something like this. And then now it's kind of like turning off the switch of like, what's next? What's next?
That's the tricky part about what we do is like, it's never like, like you're an accountant and you just know you clock in your job and you do a good job, you get promoted in 5 years, whatever. Like it kind of all relies on what we do. And like, that's also something I've been struggling with too, is like just kind of like having that. And then, cause like when you are go, and then you kind of slow down a little bit, like, all right, kind of collect yourself, kind of get in your head, you go, oh man, what's next? And then you just got to realize, like, all right, if I take one step at a time, everything kind of works itself out. And like, I'm taking vacation in Nashville first week of March.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to, the day after the holiday party, I'm going to fly out. Okay. And staying from like Wednesday to Sunday. Just something I want to do for me. Like something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can go check out the Barstool Nashville location. I haven't seen it yet, but the place looks awesome. Just from like, from hanging out with David Paul and then seeing Dex and all those guys up there. So
so I'm going to go there, go check that place out and go just hang out, just go like be by myself for a little bit and just enjoy it. And that's, like I said, why I'm excited to be sitting back here and just kind of like getting the podcast back. That's how I kind of really got started, is from doing all this. And so yeah, dude, I'm just like happy to be able to like get through the seasonal depression. And then move on from what's next. So like, what's so you were talking about you're gonna be in Boston and doing all that. So like now for you, like what's going on like for you?
So the next steps, honestly, all the music I've been working on over the winter, I'm getting ready to release now in the spring. I got 3 tracks ready to go. Nice. And the goal is just to get them out or just send them out for Miami Music Week. So that's going to be at the end of March. So I'm going to go down Wednesday to Sunday. The Clooney Hellbent thing on Wednesday at Factory Town. I've never been to Factory Town, and just go to different parties like pool parties and night parties and just being in the scene, and then hanging out with Nico over at the Eden Rock for the EDMAs and all that stuff. So nice. This isn't going to happen of us just sitting on the couch. We have to be in the scene. We also got to be making music. We got to be just
get proactive.
Yeah, just being proactive with it. Yeah. And then if you don't stop, if you just keep going and being consistent and being a good person, then eventually it will happen. Yeah. And we see other DJs, we see other producers, like they get their shine at this moment, and obviously we're happy for them and all this stuff, but it's all about timing. Yeah. And everyone has a different journey and a different path and going about it and all that stuff. Yeah,
that's the one thing I try to avoid comparing myself just because it naturally like degrades not degrades, but like kind of it makes you think less of what you did. You don't really get to look and see what you've done. You look at somebody else. So that's one thing I always avoid. One thing I always try to remind myself to do is just collaborate, and just kind of let things happen. Like you let your work speak for itself. You let things kind of just happen naturally. Because there's someone I was talking to yesterday or a few days ago, and he was asking me, it was at the Midnight in the Wicked party, right? The 1 year. And I was talking to one of the young DJs who was like kind of getting started, and he was like saying to you like, I've been seeing everything you're doing, I look up to you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I appreciate that. I don't know why, but I appreciate that. But I told him that
what you're doing.
Yeah. And I told him this, I was just like, listen, bro, at the end of the day, when you're planting seeds, you don't get to eat the fruit the next day. You know what I mean? You got to water it. You got to let the seeds sink and then and let things kind of grow. So I just like told him that, like, because I kind of tell myself that as well. Like you when you're planting seeds and what you're doing, you're not going to see it the next day. It's going to take time. So I just told him like, dude, just be patient, keep hustling, and like it just kind of happens. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And just being in the scene, just taking it in, and just being like a person. Just being able to have a conversation with this stuff, because there's so many times where like, oh, how do I get in here? How do I get this? And all these things, but just from being yourself, and from being in this industry for as long as we have been, you can just read someone and all that stuff, and just be able to, what we've done, we can give advice. Yeah. And then it's up to them how they take it. And obviously us being sponges too, just being in the scene and talking to people that have been doing it longer than us and all these different things. And I'm sure this give us the same advice
for sure.
But it's just it's tough in that freaking moment of like you want to get to hear, you want to do all this stuff, you want to have your music so like heard and played at these big stages, but then it's just about being patient.
Yeah.
Being patient and working hard, and then it pays off.
Yeah. What are how long have you been doing music for?
I've been producing for almost 10 years now. So I think we chatted about this last time on it, just about I was like doing it in high school when my professor was teaching Ableton on there, and then I just fell in love with it. And what I was doing recently is just helping a bunch of students, having a bunch of like DJs and producers in Philly that are trying to get into making music, and just helping them to curate, because I know they have a sound for it, and then just through like this template stuff that I have, it just really helps the flow. Being able to get the idea from here to the laptop to people's ears as quickly as possible. Yeah.
Do you think that anyone who it's kind of a weird, tough question, but I'll ask you anyway. Do you think that anyone who listens to music or plays music or DJs music has potential to make music? Like, do you think that they do?
Yeah, I mean, when you're DJing, you're curating, you're mixing and making music when it's happening. When you're mixing in things, when you take like EQs, for example, when you're cutting the low ends, you're technically mixing, because you don't want to have both your tracks playing and then the low ends are both up, because that's going to cause distortion and phasing and like the low end and stuff. But everyone has an ear for it, and it's just about how to get it down onto Ableton and actually just getting it out there.
Right.
And I definitely believe that anyone can do it. It's just having the resources, knowing where to go. And I've messed up for 10 years making music, so I know how to the steps not to take.
Yeah.
And then with the students I've been teaching and helping with is that I'm taking 10 years off of that, and then consolidating it into an hour to however long the session goes on for. But it's just I like to stay organized. You know, if you have like a groups of between like kicks, percussion, vocals, effects, synths, subs, but the most important thing if you're especially making house music, is your kick and your bass. If you can get those things in unison and they sound clean, the rest follows. Your synths, your vocals, because that's the driving factor. That's what keeps you moving and dancing and all that stuff. And that's just taken years of about messing up and figuring it out. I'm still figuring it out, but now I've just figured out ways of how to make sure that is pumping. And then from there, then you can make an edit out of anything, especially with like I use Moise's AI, which is a really, really good stem ripper, and then you just throw it in there and it rips the drum, all the groups I just said. And from there, you just literally just create a stem group, and then you just drop it, and then you don't really need the kick or like the bass line for that stuff. You just want the vocals and the synths, and then you add it over, you find the tempo, you find the key, and then people also say like, oh, do I need to know music theory? No, it helps, because then now you can know how to go from like, all right, I need to get from G minor to F minor. And that's 2 steps. But realistically, you can also do like some different key changes or just elaborate. But if you can figure out how to properly warp tracks, so then where everything's in time, everything's in key, everything sounds good, then you can get it out there. Just put it out on SoundCloud. And having the confidence, and I always share this with everyone too, having the confidence of, if you're going to make something, that knowing that you can make something better the next time. Because instead of just focusing so long on this track, and because it's not going to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. And possibly even talked about the imperfections really make the whole track. And then he doesn't really beat himself up on it. He just gets it out there. Because then you can make the next one, and then
it's like you're building your own time capsule in a way. Do you know what I mean? That's like, because I remember you were helping me with my band for band edit. And I as we were talking, I was like, wait, I gotta put it out. Like I want to put it out and just kind of just have it there. Like to me, it's as done as it can be. I obviously can make things better, but like you already put so much time into it. I'm like, for me, I'm just gonna put it out. I'm gonna put out. I have 2 edits I want to put out this Friday. So I'm like getting ready for that. And we were trying to get through the copyright stuff with the I was able to turn it down.
Did that work?
So when I put it out, I made it like 10 minutes. I made the intro longer. But then I turned the performance down. Like sorry, this is really nerdy, but I turned the performance down like -5. So I'm gonna try to re-release it as just with the performance down, see if that does it. Usually from what I've been reading and like stuff, like it does. So we'll see.
It's like the cents and every 50 cents is 1 semitone and all that stuff too. So you can there's a bunch of different ways and tricks to go about it. You can do this stuff where just the first 16 bars, if you're at 120, it's just 30 seconds. Just drums. just literally just a kick drum, like a and then introduce the bass line. And then at a minute, then you can put an auto filter on the vocal, and then it starts doing that. That's what I did with me and Sat's Move Edit. And I also had like that Desire Afro House edit I made over the summer was the biggest pain in the ass. I'm sure. Because it's Warner Brothers that released that whole album soundtrack for We Are Your Friends.
Right.
And I went through 20 different versions of messing it, and then you can't compete with Warner Brothers records or whatever the Atlantic. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but I had to do that 10-minute trick that I share with you, where it's just an intro and then you leave 10 minutes of space, and then the listener knows that when they're listening to something, they can scroll through the first thing, and then also too when you're uploading. You can, with the formats, you can upload it as a different like the original you had without the format. So then when they download it, they get the original version that you made. But then when they hear on SoundCloud, then the format's down a little bit. So then it's out of tune. Is that what you do with Hype Edit? You said is that you put that version in Hype Edit? Yeah. If I'm having trouble with the copyright issue stuff, then I can just make it detuned, and then when you download it, it's the original version. I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah. All right. See, the more you know. Yeah. Yeah. And I want to have this conversation with you because I see these things all the time about the different. If someone says edit, remix, mashup, bootleg, and all these different things. Yeah. So, how I classify it is that. It used to be called bootleg, and a bootleg was an unofficial remix. Because what a bootleg is, you don't have the official stems from the artist. But now with AI, you can stem rip, and you can get all these different things, and now people are calling it edits. And I think, but then back then, edits used to just be like mashups, and now mashup has its own thing. So when I see things online about like edit when it's just two people putting a person putting two songs together, like that's not an edit. That's a mashup. An edit is you making a remix that is an official remix, and then a remix is you have the rights from the artist, and that's how I think about it as like an official thing, because you see people saying edit and then you see people saying remix. Yeah, I think it's different for everyone, because like I said, I even checked for myself. Like I did a shiver, like I call it a remix. So for me, when I'm like, if I see like a remix, it means like, okay, they made the instrumental and whatever, like they really made it their own. And then an edit, I can kind of classify as like having your own elements into a song, whether you're changing up a vocal, you're adding certain elements here and there. And then a mashup is obviously just two songs, just pretty straightforward. And then bootleg is kind of this almost the same as like remix, almost with like an unofficial version. Yeah. I always try to obviously now avoid bootleg, because I heard like SoundCloud, or like if they see bootleg, they just instantly take it down. And I think it just sounds just like cheap. With the edit. I mean, that's what they use. That's the term of the word, right? Yeah. Bootleg, yeah. It just sounds cheap with it. And then there's also the term flip. When someone does a flip, and then flip is just you take all the original things, but then you like cut it up and then you redo it. So then that's like what I consider a flip. So those are my definitions. An edit is an unofficial remix. A remix is you have the rights. You actually have the stems from the artist, and then you have the permission to do it. And then a mashup is just two songs put together. Yeah. And then a flip is just cutting up some things. Yeah. And original is obviously an original. Yeah, yeah. I because it drives me crazy when I'm seeing fucking edits when you just put two songs together. Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, everyone has different terms, and is what it is. But that's something I'm like really excited to like lock into, is like the putting out more stuff. Like just putting it out, putting something together. Whether it's something I make from scratch or something I take from different songs or whatever, and just kind of like putting it out. That's a huge goal of mine this year. Do you have goals and things, like obviously you don't have to say everything, but like generalities, like do you have things that like you really want to like excel at this year, or something that you really want to like emphasize this year? I want to be traveling more. I want to be playing out in different cities, especially like I'm really focused on the summer about playing in New York, Boston more. I want to try to get down more to Miami, and then working on like the West Palm at 4 through Barstool, and what was the 123 Datora, I believe. So just traveling more, and that really comes with ticket sales and how many people you can bring out, because anyone can DJ, anyone can do an awesome job, but what are you going to bring to the table? Right. And that is tables. Yeah, right. It's tables and all that stuff, because if you can bring out 100 people that are going to pay to come see you. You can play almost anywhere. Almost anywhere, but you can play in a lot of nightclubs, and especially fighting for. And that's how it is out in New York. But you need to be selling a lot of tickets. Yeah. And if you're not selling tickets, then we can find someone else that can do it.
Yeah, it's your value, right? Like, what value do you add? Some DJs, they are just some DJs bring a lot of people out. Some DJs are really good, behind on the decks, but it's all about just finding your value, and that's like that was my goal last year, as to how can I provide value for a venue, and how can I add to an experience or create an experience. And so like and having your obviously you and Leilani been together for a while and everything like that. So how do you balance? Because I'm curious as well. How do you balance time to making time?
So we've been going to the gym together. We've been doing this cool workout over at City Fitness. Shout out to my boy Will. Yeah. Trying to make me look good for Miami next month. We've been going. We've been doing three sessions a week, and then we try to go in the gym at least 5. So we're spending time together during the day, and then I usually go and do my work. She has her space, and I think what makes it work for the both of us is that I have my own creative space in the studio, and then she has her space to go on TikTok and do whatever she wants to do, and then doing her makeup, getting ready for work and all that stuff. But we usually try to do, we call it Tuesdays. Okay. So like tonight, for example, we're going out to go see the new Captain America movie. Oh shit! And then we'll go to like Yard House just to get like a simple meal, and then go see a movie, and then head home, and then just tomorrow just working and doing all that stuff. But we try to do our best. But there's times when, we live together, but we really don't even see each other because we're working. Yeah, we're working constantly. Even though that she's over at Barstool, I could be somewhere else that night and that stuff. But I'm always making sure that I'm going back at 3-4 in the morning to make sure that I'm picking her up so she's getting home safe.
Of course, yeah. She pushes you, man. I think it's hilarious. I think it's because I think every time me and you talk, it goes, she tells you to either play more of this or do more of that. I love it. I think it's hilarious.
She's my biggest critic, and it definitely has helped me. Yeah. But there's some times too where it's like, I love you, but let me do my job. Yeah. But it's because she cares, because she's involved in it, she sees it. But it's funny because when we're working together in Parlay, she knows the tracks that I'm gonna play, and sometimes she doesn't. And then she knows right to come out right when the builds and then the drop, and then she's coming out with the sign and all that stuff.
It's teamwork, man. I love it. I love it, man.
But no, she definitely does push me, and that's what I think what helps in a relationship is having, especially us both being in nightlife and all that scene. We just care about just doing our jobs and getting through the night.
Right, exactly. I love it, man. I love it. So getting back to the Eagles a little bit. Yeah. So with how the season was going, what were you doing? What did you? Let me ask you this. Okay, what was do you have a favorite Eagles moment from the season? Or do you have a
favorite Eagles moment from the season? I think where was it? Oh, definitely the pick 6 with Cooper. Yeah, in the Super Bowl, because it was nuts. I mean, I don't even, and that goes back to the whole DJing thing where I didn't even have the Eagles fight song ready.
Oh yeah, because you didn't expect them to do a pick 6.
Yeah, right. A rookie coming in, and we were just hanging out with him fucking 2 weeks ago, right, in the DJ booth, and now and then I actually showed him the video. When he when he's here at the parade, said this is how crazy Barstool went when you did it. But it was so random and so quick. Yeah. And then my second favorite moment was when me and D-Rock took our pants down in the booth.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right when they won. So it was a good time and a good moment together.
Real bonding moment.
And then we're in freaking Hunter, New York. Yeah. The following week. And oh my God, this was so funny. We're in the Hunter, New York. It's parallel to near Vermont, the edge of Vermont and Massachusetts. And this is more Bills, new Giants country, right? Yep. And all that stuff. And this was the week after we won the Super Bowl. So I'm walking around wearing this. Oh, and shit. Bold move. It was me, Cade, Lay, Doe, with Annalise and their friend, and we just kept going up to everyone. We were just on loop, just saying "Go Birds, dickhead."
Oh, what they say?
And they loved it.
Oh, they did.
They loved it. And all the Giants fans were like, "Oh," I'm like, we could just say thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That's it.
Yeah, I was we just kept saying it to everyone, and then everyone just started getting involved in it. We went to this random Mexican restaurant, and then we walk in with Derek and all them, and we just started yelling "Go Birds," and then some guy that was an Eagles fan Like, what are you doing out here? And then they're all black. And then we're all saying the Eagles fight song chant. Bro, they're everywhere.
They are.
I gave him the chain to wear because he came back to the club afterwards. We saw him back in here, and everyone was wearing this around.
That's
like,
so funny.
This thing's so hilarious.
Bro, I
love it.
That's a great chain, bro. I do. Birds fans are everywhere, man. They're everywhere. Like, anywhere you go. Like, Eagles are taking over the whole. They've been taking over the world, man. Because, like, even at the Super Bowl, like, they were, even, like, there was the crowd that was there and, like, and stuff like that. And, like, kind of have the same thing. So one of my favorite moments was, you know what's crazy? So obviously I love the Coop, the pick six, which is great. What I loved and I knew when we were gonna win was when Saquon, I think it was against the Commanders in the snow game. Yeah. And when he's running for like his 60-yard touchdown, he starts slamming his helmet. Yeah. That's when I knew. I was like, the team is dialed, bro. Yeah. I was like, they
locked
were,
in.
Yeah, man. It was and even like the whole preparation leading up, like the stuff that Jalen would say and like just Saquon, like they were just like, they didn't care about getting there. Like they didn't care about trophies, accolades. They were just like, dude, we're gonna win. And that's when I could have put any amount of money on them to win. I don't want to bet money line. I wanted to go a little bit above because I'm like, dude, there's just no chance. Like, even from like a script writer's perspective, it's like, okay, it's Saquon and Coop's birthday. Yeah. It's probably Brandon Graham's last game as an Eagle. Yeah. Jalen is coming back from losing to them 2 years ago. It's like a whole and then, it's like it's a whole thing.
I mean, they didn't score the Chiefs didn't score a single point till 36 seconds left in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And it got to a point when they were scoring where it didn't even matter if they scored.
Yeah. The game was over by halftime.
And, you know what? I want to change my answer for my favorite moment. Mm-hmm. My favorite moment was definitely the 2-minute warning. So I had everything kind of planned out in my head. Like, if they were going to win, play the Eagles fights on the last 32 seconds of the game, then plus play We Are the Champions. But right at the 2-minute mark, we already knew we were going to win. Yeah. At that time, they were handing out the confetti cannons, the champagne, all that stuff. And I just said, you know what, I'm just going to play the Dreams and Nightmares track. And the place went ballistic. Oh, yeah. Everyone was supposed to save the freaking the confetti for the game. I'm sorry, for the end of the game. And then everyone just started blasting the freaking champagne and all this stuff. And it was just absolutely just nuts. I've been playing that song since I've been here, and that was by far my favorite time ever playing that song because it just brought everyone together. Yeah. And the game was still on, but I just said, "Fuck it, just keep playing. It didn't matter, just keep playing music and keep doing it." And then right into the Eagles fight song and We Are the Champions, and it was a nice moment because everyone was just hype but hugging each other and just showing like love. Yeah. And that's like like obviously we're not out there on the field, but we did this as a fan base, and we did this as people, and we've been grinding and. We deserved it. Well,
and the Eagle, exactly, bro. And the Eagles know that too. Yeah, that's why they came out to the bars. They'll come hang out with all of us. Like they know. It's like the fans are the extension of the team. Like you know what I mean? Yeah. And I would say even too, one of my favorite moments was the parade when we were downstairs, like the Brand Flakes event. Yeah, yeah. And I put on Dreams and Nightmares again, and then they got like my friend Paige Pullman. She got like a sign from the back, and it said Super Bowl champs. Yeah, and I put it on my Instagram, but it was like such a cool moment because like everyone was just like so dialed, and like I try to be careful when playing that because obviously like that's like a turning point in the night. Like it's gonna go up. Like, you know what I mean?
It can only go up. It can't go down from there.
Yeah, so I remember I'll play it too, and that's that's so sick. Like just even like the day of the game with you, like with them. Getting the champagne ready, the confetti cannons ready, and like it's gonna happen, and them just like preemptively just going, all right, screw it. But no, it was such a great year, and man, I'm hopefully we run it back next year. We like keep doing what we're doing. It was great, bro. It was so fun to be a part of, and like I said, shout out to even the whole staff and like yourself, and like
that doesn't happen without them. From everyone between like the bartenders, the servers, the security, the managers, everyone in the kitchen, everyone just doing their job to make that happen because it's a well-oiled machine. Yeah. And everyone's very easy to work with and very, at times, very easy to work with. And then there's obviously the times when everyone's just dead because the parade day, when you're playing downstairs, I'm playing upstairs. Then we have to do another transition into we have Twin Sick coming in.
Yeah, that was nuts.
So I'm texting with the TM, making sure that they're good for they're arriving at this time. They're getting the mics everything mics checked, the lights are working, everything's good. So and meanwhile I got a million people around me. I'm trying to entertain and do my thing. And then when we're done at 9, transition. We have to make sure everyone was get everyone out from Bran Flakes party where you were playing, and then now we got to transition into nightlife on top of 1.5 million people
in the city.
being in the city, and then we have a national touring artist like Twin Sick coming in that sold tickets. That's basically sold out. That line that whole day was out the door from 11 a.m. till fucking 4 a.m.
Insane.
Yeah, not 4, but you know what I mean, like 2 a.m.
Dude, that was nuts. I forgot, dude. Like that Twin Sick was there that night.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. Yeah, that was insane. Yeah, I went upstairs and I just grabbed the table and I called it a day. But
and that was a crazy moment too, because right after they got there at 10:55, they go on at 11:15. So I go outside, I grab them, make sure they go through like the side door, make sure they're comfortable, give them a layout of what they're ready to do. David Paul's ripping it out front. They go up, and then around like 11:20, I get a text message from Razor saying like, "Hey, do you have hip hop on your USB?" I was like, "Yeah." So I go upstairs, and then I do a little back-to-back with Trey, and then I look up, and it's Saquon Barkley. It's Landon Dickerson. It's all the players, and then I just happen to be at the right time in the right place, and then because of having this on me, with the freaking
I got
little thumb drive, if you can see it next to the Spidey, plug in, and then just and then again playing the Dreams and Nightmares stuff, and then you see, and then Saquon's going crazy to it, and then it's going viral, it's going posted on Barstool, and then his favorite artist is Rod Wave. So I didn't have Rod Wave on my thumb drive. So right before I went up, I went to my backpack and I grabbed an RCA, which is the red and white cable that you plug in to the back of TVs back in the day. And then you plug that into the mixer, and then the other end was an 1/8-inch aux cord that you plug into a little adapter you can plug into your... No, I didn't even have my laptop. So I plug it into here, into my phone, and I play one of Rod Wave's biggest tracks.
Yeah, right off Spotify.
Yeah, and I'm transitioning out from that one. I just do like a little echo out, and then I just press play, and on here, and then you see him dancing, having fun. And then on the way out, Kat was saying that he goes, "Oh my God, we had such a good time here. We had we're definitely excited to be coming back here." And then I appreciate them playing Rod Wave and all that stuff. So I was just hospitality. Yeah, it's all about hospitality, and then. Because again, like I was saying earlier, they could have been anywhere in the world. So let's show them a good time.
Yeah, and that's awesome. Yeah, and it's also realizing you're not the most important person in the room.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I think one thing that I've that I've learned, and then I've trying to teach myself is that when you're putting out anything, you gotta make it about the listeners.
Oh yeah.
Or just in general, right? Sometimes your listeners are gonna be Saquon. Sometimes they're gonna be this random citizen or whatever, whatever. But
some annoying girl with their phone up.
With Bad Bunny and shit. Yeah.
Or I got Pop Smoke the other day downstairs in Parlay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could play a house edit of it, but I'm not gonna play drill right now at fucking 10:45.
Nah, you can't. As long as it's not like a Saquon or a Cooper asking for it, you can't.
And that's the difference between real talk, a super VIP, VIP, and GA, where. If it makes sense, mix it in. If it makes sense, but when I had this thing happen to me when I was playing at HQ2 Matroda July 5th, we had Isaiah Pacheco.
He's the Chiefs running back.
Yeah, Chiefs running back, 2-time Super Bowl champion, and he's into the super VIP table to the right of me. And then they're saying hey, he wants to hear Future. So I didn't. It was not. What was the first Kendrick diss one?
They Not Like Us?
No, the one before that one.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know. I forget the song. But...
Yeah, I'm blanking out. But basically, he wanted that song, and I didn't have it. And I'm playing house music for open up for one of the biggest fucking house guys in the world. So fortunately, I had my laptop on me, and I was connected to the hotel Wi-Fi.
Yep.
So I go on. I have a crowd in front of me. I put on a quick just a 10-minute fucking piss break mix.
Yeah.
And I go in. I'm downloading it. And I plug it in, and then I play the song for him, and then Luz, who's in charge of hospitality, is saying, play another one. So then I get Stick Talk ready. And then I was like, okay, how do I transition out of this? And then I went to Yona and Nico's edit of Dreams and Nightmares, where it has this big impact. And then now I can get way out of it. And then now we're still consistently staying in hip-hop, but now we're back into the flow of house music.
You're keeping it, yeah.
And then Isaiah came up and dapped me up, and then from that point on, it was just being able to recognize they're they're the most important people in the room. It's not about me.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's another thing too with just DJing in the city, where unless you're bringing in 100 people, you're bringing in a lot of people, and you're bringing in tables and all that stuff. It's not about you. It's your job is to entertain and make the venue money. And it's obviously we have fun and we're talented at what we do and all that stuff. But realistically, if you want to keep your job and you want to keep playing something, it's all about just entertaining and making sure that people are spending money and having a good time. And then when we get, when we build up a fan bases, then we're playing at big venues and doing different things and like big shows with massive artists. Then it's about the DJ and about the music.
Yeah.
And that's just a tough reality, I think, thing to comprehend.
Yeah.
And obviously, in theory, it's all like we love it. It's all about the music and dancing. But what's going to keep the lights on?
Exactly. No, exactly. It gets deeper than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so I think I'm getting for when I'm in Parlay on the 14th, I'm getting a party bus.
Nice.
I'm just gonna get it. I'm gonna pay for it.
Yeah. That's a good investment.
Whoever wants to come, just come, and then I'm gonna like vlog it and have my buddy Bobby film it.
Nice.
Just like because I just want to make it like nuts for no reason.
Yeah.
But no, it'll be fun though, bro. But dude, I appreciate you for coming on, bro.
Yeah,
it
was a blast.
It was fun just to top it up, man, and talk about it. I'm sure, we can go for hours on all kinds of stuff, man. But like, kind of just want to say, like, dude, like I said, just thank you and for just like being a good friend and and just like for like especially this season, I feel like we've really been able to like build a relationship and like and just get close, whether it's through like some bullshit like through work or like just hanging out or whatever. Yeah. So I appreciate you, bro, for real.
I appreciate having me on, and then honestly turning me into an Eagles fan. So,
bro, that's probably my
go Birds, dickhead.
That's my biggest accomplishment this year is turning him into a full Eagles fan. So every single game, bro, I'll come to you like, what'd you think? He's like, bro, I love this city.
Yeah,
he's like, I love this team. And even your dad too is funny too.
Yeah, he
man.
flew down for the Super Bowl. Flew down for his diehard Pats fan his whole life, but he was wearing an Eagles hat and just had a good time.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, baby. Yeah. But yeah, man, I appreciate you for coming on the pod, man. And you'll say it better than I do. Go Birds, dickhead. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Peace. See you guys.